Greetings YouTube. I just wrapped up a week's worth of vacation and I'm going to be showing off 2-week accumulation of thrifting deals that I've found in that time. And I visited quite a few thrift shops in that 2-week period. Now here we have a Rubbermaid 2-wheeled yard cart which we picked up at a yard sale today for $5. So that was a pretty good deal because we've seen these for sale at like big box hardware stores for like $40 or $50. And here we have one scythe, my very own scythe, which I picked up today for $10, which is the best price I've seen for a scythe. I'm going to be using this for a costume come Halloween. Also, I hopefully will be doing a video in the near future showing off the absolute and utter absurdity of trying to use one of these things as a melee weapon. Okay, YouTube, we are now indoors, and I shall show you off some of the books that I found in the last couple of weeks. We have 2 books here. We have Drawing Down the Moon by Margot Adler, a very good reference book for anyone that wants to get involved in sampling of the pagan and Wiccan movement of the modern era. And Reviving Ophelia, Saving the Lives of Adolescent Girls, both of which I purchased both of these books as giveaway copies. I've lost count of how many copies of Reviving Ophelia I have given away to people, and I have mailed them all over the world. I think this is a must-read for any adolescent girl, any adult woman, and any parent of a woman. So you need to read this book. It's important. The rest are things for my wife or I. First is The Complete Pyramids, which is a textbook from Plymouth State College. And it has some of the best illustrations, both in black and white and color, I'd ever seen. And I actually already have a book on pyramids, which I will now be getting rid of, because this is far, far superior to it. It's awesome illustrations, nice quality paper as well. We have the Kevin and Kel role-playing game from Comstar Press. Now this is a role-playing game based off of the webcomic Kevin and Kel, which takes place in an anthropomorphic animal world, our world, but just with anthropomorphic animals. And it's based off of the D&D OGL, though it uses a slightly different mechanic to generate the resolutions. It's using 3die6 instead of a die 20. But some people prefer a bell curve, so I understand. But I've never even heard of this one, and for a role-playing game to be hit the world, and me have never heard of it, it's kind of obscure. So I picked this up when I had the chance to get it. Driving Mr. Albert, which is the story of a man that drove around with Albert Einstein's brain in his car. I'm not making that up. Awesome Stories, which is a collection from 2009 of cartoons, both in color and in black and white. This may be something I read, then I pass it on. I haven't decided yet. It depends on how good the art is. But it was a decent price. I figured, what the heck, I'll give it a read. The Truth, 4 Stories I Am Finally Old Enough to Tell by Ellen Douglas. Someone that apparently has written some non-fiction, had written fiction, and this is the first non-fiction story that she's going to be telling about her own family's history of being a Southerner. So that should be interesting. We have, sorry, get that in there. Preface to Philosophy, Book of Reading. So just an overview of different philosophical moves. I also happen to like the book itself. Physically, it was a nice book. Chuck Klosterman's Killing Yourself to Live. Now, I actually haven't read his Sex, Death, and Cocoa Puffs, but it becomes highly recommended, and I had the opportunity to pick up this book, so I figured if I like the other one, I'll read this one as well, and if I don't like the other one, I'll just give both of them away. We have Today's Isms, Communism, Fascism, Capitalism, and Socialism. This is the 2nd edition. Atom, Journey Across the Subatomic Cosmos by Isaac Asimov. I have discovered that I actually far prefer Isaac Asimov's non-fiction work to his fiction work. So I'm looking forward to reading this one. Mountain Summits, Tales of Hiking and Exploring in the White Mountains from 1878 to 1886 as seen through the eyes of women. That's a book for my wife. Book of Monsters, Drawing Your Own Mutants, Freaks, and Creeps. I like the style, and my wife has kind of been interested over the years in sketching, so I thought you might be interested in that. We have Worldwide Picture Source Book, and I picked this up specifically because it had really nice black and white etchings, some of which are of weapons, and I'm like, for $1, I can't lose on this one. You know, I might definitely going to find use for that. And the World Almanac 1945, a book of facts published by the New York World Telegram, a newspaper that I don't know if it's still in existence or not. And then for the book find of the week, we have a 3-volume set, Volume 1, Course, a Design Criteria for Total and Partial Self-Sufficiency from Self-Sufficiency Education Series. Course 2, How to Remodel an Existing Home to Prepare for Self-Sufficiency. And lastly, Architectural Design and Construction of the Survival Home. Now, I am not about to start building a bunker and crawl into it because I think the apocalypse is going to be happening. But I find this interesting. This is from 1977. This is actually typeset. I mean, look at this. This is old school typesetting, folks. This is done by hand. This was typed on a typewriter. But I enjoy the mental framework that generates these kind of things, and it's got some illustrations and some ideas. And as an aficionado of the post-apocalyptic genre of fiction, of role-playing games and movies and books and what have you, I thought these would make nice references. And they are from the Survival Homes Incorporated. I have no idea if that company is still in existence. I need to Google that. So there we have today is the book section, and we are now on to the DVD section of my haul video. We have Dirty Dancing, a film that, yes, I actually enjoyed. Smokey and the Bandit, which was a rollicking good time. I can remember seeing it the first time in the theaters, and that's the special edition. The Best of Bowie, 47 videos, a 2 DVD set. That was a great find. Ray Liotta's No Escape. Now, this is a science fiction film in this near future, but it has a wonderful post-apocalyptic vibe to it. I really enjoyed it. It's over the top. You get to watch these actors just chew up the scenes, and I really had a lot of fun with it. Justice League: The New Frontier. I've seen really good reviews of this, but never had an opportunity to see it, so now I do. An Evening with Kevin Smith 2, Evening Harder. I'm a Kevin Smith fan. School of Rock with Jack Black. Phenomenon. I actually liked this movie. This is the widescreen edition. Joe versus the Volcano. Yes, I know it's a silly film, but it has what is quite possibly my favorite scene in all of cinematic history. It involves a man talking about luggage. Paycheck. Interesting story about this. The morning of the day I found this, I had seen a list online about films that people had said that had been overlooked because in that year they didn't do very well at the box office, but they thought that they were a cut above the average for that year and they deserved a second chance. I had never seen it. What the heck? I got a good price on it, so I'm going to give it a second chance. Give it a chance. Colombiana, which is a film I'd heard some good things about. I've never seen it. Rio Bravo. I purchased this because I had recently watched El Dorado with John Wayne. And there were those that said Howard Hawks remade Rio Bravo in El Dorado. So I want to see this again. I've seen both films, but I haven't seen them back to back with each other within a tight enough time span to really compare them to each other. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one. But I love Rio Bravo. I love El Dorado. James Caan in that is just so great. Robert Mitchum, John Wayne. I just really enjoyed that film. Ghost Rider. Yes, I know it's not a particularly good film, but I have an affection for Nicolas Cage. I know it's a sickness. The Craft. I haven't seen that movie since it came out, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Uncle Buck, which is a great comedy, and it is just makes me sad every time I think about this film because we lost John Candy far too early. By Librarian, Return to the King Solomon Mine. I've never seen this, but I've heard decent things about it, and I kind of like the cast. Bob Newhart's in it, so you can't really go completely wrong. This one's kind of cold. I think I may have heard something about this. It's called Invasion with an exclamation point. It's a science, or it's a kind of a science fiction / horror comedy. So I get a good price on it, so what the heck. Kurt Russell's Executive Decision. I am a Kurt Russell fan, and I actually kind of like this because it was one of the best roles that Steven Seagal ever played. Anyone who's seen the movie will get that joke. Live Free or Die Hard. I've actually never seen this movie, so I got a decent price for it. Like I think I paid $1 for it, so I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to watch that. And Altered States, a movie I have not seen in ages, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And at the time, the special effects were kind of cool. I realize that they're probably really dated now, but I still want to see it and add it to my collection. So that's what we have for the DVDs this time around. I missed three DVDs as I was unpacking things for the last section of the video. So we have Samuel L. Jackson in Shaft, Chasing Amy by Kevin Smith, and Hidalgo with Viggo Mortensen, a film I've never seen, and I heard it got mixed reviews, but I like Viggo Mortensen. And here we come to the eclectic section of the video, where the things that don't fit into any other category all kind of fall in place. So here we have over here, we have a mask, and those of you that saw my birthday video has already seen that mask. I think I may use it as a wall decoration, or I may find a use for it as a costume, or something in another video. This is a collapsible, foldable tote. It's got a heavy-duty canvas construction with a hard bottom. This folds down. The whole thing folds into about that thick. I want to use it as a tool dump so I can put things in it and take it with me to repair locations in the house when I'm working on stuff. I paid $2 for it. It's apparently from Germany. Kind of nice. It's even got a little zippered inside pocket on the inside there. I don't think I'll ever have a use for that. I picked up some line, which is heavy-duty line for most things. It's a very light climbing line. I'm not sure what it was actually used for as far as climbing is concerned. But it's probably the same rough weight, maybe even stronger than 550 paracord. And I paid $1 for it. You can always use line around the house. Now, these are Mountain Hardwear Expedition grade mittens. These are like $60 mittens, and I paid $5 for them. They are in really nice shape, and I will be using those come wintertime for shoveling. And here we have a National Geographic weather station, which we got cheap because the sensor is not working quite right, but we think we can get a new one, so we'll be able to get we got it for $25, and it was normally a $100 unit, so that's cool. And it's got an anemometer on it, so you can tell the speed of the wind, which really has my wife all excited. We have a bunch of selection of bells and ceramics this time around. Now this one right here I purchased strictly because it was just so ugly I had to own it. It just made me smile when I saw it, and I had to give it home. Here we have something that screams the 70s. I don't actually know when it was made, but this says the 70s to me. And this is a bell. I believe this bell is Swedish, because there are symbols on here which to me make me think it's Swedish, but it has an awesome sound. It really does. I happen to like that a lot. And then we have a holiday bell, and it says greetings, holiday greetings. My wife, this will make the third holiday bell that we have for her. We have Christmas, holiday, and New Year's now, so that's kind of cool. We have a small stoneware container, which I thought was fairly well executed. The top is a little on the primitive side, but the inside is nicely done. The walls are a nice uniform thickness, something I look for. The lid's not too bad. It's not perfect, but again, I paid $1 for that, so I couldn't pass that up. Here we have a piece here that has trees carved into it. I thought that was just really pretty, and again, it's stoneware. It's a really nice wall thickness. The person that did this actually had a little bit of talent. Here we have a picture. Now, it says Superstar on it, which is not what attracted my wife. What attracted my wife is somebody took a 3x5 card and they hand drew a little robot on it, and it's signed MJ on it. There's no other. Oh, actually, it's not. It's no paper. It's not a card. I opened it up and looked at it. But somebody just drew this little thing for somebody as a gift. They put it in this frame, and then someone got rid of it. And my wife was like, "That's so sad." So now it has a home. Here we have a bell. We got that one today, actually. Kind of cool. We have a. This is just a plastic container. My wife wanted to get it for holding a powder pad she's going to be using. It cost $1, so it fulfills a job that she needs to fulfill. I was at an antique store and I found this collection. These are game pieces from the game Jumanji, and I don't have the game. I don't really care about the game. I got it strictly because it had cool, funky little dice in it, which kind of made me smile. And you know, it's got a rhino. You can't lose with a rhino. Now here we have a spoon rest, which is a practical gift, my practical item. I'll be using this myself, and it's signed Ryan on the bottom. And I saw this, I'm like, that person really knows how to draw their signature with a paintbrush. That's not something you pick up unless you do it a lot. Also, the very clean line on the bottom. So I came home and I looked it up online, and this is from a guy named Ryan Ball. He's currently living in Minnesota. He is originally from Louisiana, and this usually goes for like 18 bucks, and I got it for $1. Here we have a larger bell, which has got a lovely patina on it. Nice tone. Oops. Here we have these little hand magnet thingies. I've always wanted a pair of these. I found them in a dollar store this week for $1, so I'm like, and I've been playing with them constantly ever since. So I guess they fulfill the duty of a fidget device. Here we have a piece of ceramic, and it is signed on the bottom. I'm not sure by whom, not a well-known artist of any kind, but it has a nice crackle. I like the fish designs, and it was $2.50, so I'll add that to my collection. Yes, this is going to sound strange. This is a rubber ball with a ghost face on it. I find bouncing balls oddly soothing. I know that sounds weird, but I do. So there you go. This is a bell designed to be hung on the door, and I will be hanging it on my screen door. Probably just blew the speakers on, blew the mic on this thing. Sorry about that. But it has a nice sound to it. Here we have a spear point. I picked this up at Parker's Maple Barn in Mason, New Hampshire. They have a little gift shop, and it's not. It's not an archaeological dig piece. It's just made for the tourist market. But I paid $9 for it. I like the proportions, and I may do something with it. I don't know. I mean, otherwise it may just be, you know, a cute little piece I keep in my curio box. I have a curio box. Here we have a work light, which I had paid $4 for today. We have a working flashlight. This is a knockoff of a mag light, but I still think I can convert it to LED, so that's what I'm going to try doing with that. Speaking of LED, here we have a work light. Now this is actually new. I paid $7 for it at Goodwill, but I've seen them in a surplus magazine for $11. So I got a good deal on this. And you can hang it, and it's got a magnet in the back, so it's a useful work light. Take it with you. Here we have something everyone needs. It's a lucite cane. So, you know, I can do a cosplay for Mr. Glass. Anyone out there get that reference? Here we have a stone slab. I paid $6 for that, and I'm going to use that underneath something. You know, this is a display piece, but you can actually, it's actually translucent. It's a nice quality. And last but not least, well, I'd like to introduce you folks to Mr. Chompy. Mr. Chompy is a skull. He's got, it's not what you call great taxidermy, because it isn't great taxidermy. He's got marbles for eyes, but his teeth are in pretty decent shape, and I thought it was just awesome to have a skull sitting on my bookshelf looking at people when they walk into my office. I thought that was cool, and that is Mr. Chompy. I haven't introduced him to the cats yet, so I have to do that yet. I have to see if I can get shots of Mr. Chompy and the cats. That should be entertaining. But this has been my haul collection at the end of the summer during my vacation. I don't know if there'll be any more between now and my next vacation or not. Pretty much the holiday, I mean the season for yard sales is pretty much over here. Things are starting to get a little cool, but it was fun. I had a good time. Got some useful tools, got some art, and of course books and DVDs, because I seem to have some kind of a problem.